Hello everyone, I am Shroom, and this is the first episode of a new series called Fun Builds. You've probably seen a lot of OPAF builds online before. Well, this series will cover some more off-meta builds that can still be quite powerful and fun to play. So with that out of the way, let's get to the build. So this is the War Mage build, and with it I'm using the Carrion Regal Scepter with the Lazuli Glintstone Sword as a backup, but you can use any weapon you want really. And in my offhand, I have a shield with Carrion Retaliation to deal with enemy mages or people trying to rush me. As for the fashion, I'm wearing the Haima Glintstone Crown, which gives me plus 2 strength and intelligence at the cost of 10% FP, which is the reason why I'm using the Carrion Regal Scepter instead of loose sats, since it makes spells cost more FP. And I don't really have it all to spare, but you can use any other headpiece if you don't really want the minus 10% FP penalty. I'm only wearing it for the fashion. As for the rest of the armor, I'm wearing the Cuckoo Knight's armor, scaled gauntlets, and fingerprint greaves. For talismans, I'm using the Radagon Sword Seal, mostly to help me get to 50 HP and to 40 dexterity so we can get to the casting speed soft cap with Radagon's icon. But you can also just use a Surge Staff instead, at the cost of your spells costing 20% more SP. And for the last two slots, we have the Graven Mask and Graven School talismans to boost our sorceries, as this is primarily a caster build. As for the spells, this is where the build diverges from regular sorcerer builds. We're going to be using some off-meta spells, starting with Gavel of Haima. Thanks to update 1.03, it now has an insane amount of hyper armor, which makes it perfect for punishing enemies that try to get too greedy and get too close to attack you, so I like to put it on my first slot because of that. On my second slot, I like to put Comet. It's just a great general tool for applying pressure at long and medium range. Then on my third slot, I put Cannon of Haima. I like to use this spell as an opening. It's surprisingly effective when free aiming, but you're gonna have to aim a bit lower than you actually think, because the projectile travels on an arc. On my fourth slot, I have a Duelist Moonblade, which is a good mid-range pressuring tool, and it's pretty good for opponents who like to stay close to punish your spellcasting, but not close enough for Gavel of Haima. And just a little tip about the spell, it cannot be deflected with the Earth Tree Great Shield, so if you see someone using it against you, run up to the face and just spam away. On my fifth slot, I have Loretta's Mastery, which is a great long distance spell with great tracking. A good trick with this spell is to unlock, aim to the side, and then lock back onto your opponent and let the spell fly. The arrows will track and hit your opponent from unexpected angles. Then on the sixth slot, I have Star Shower. This is a really good mid-range tracking spell for opponents who really just like to dodge everything you throw at them. It's not undodgeable like Stars of Ruin, but it's still pretty difficult to avoid and can be comboed into other spells if you time it right. On the 7th slot, I have Shattering Crystal, which is just a pretty good shotgun type spell with variable timing, which is great for throwing off your opponent. And finally, I have Carrion Phalanx on my last slot. I like to use it at the very beginning of a fight, before Cannon of Haima, to deter opponents from just rushing me while I cast all the big slow spells. And with all that done, I'll just leave you with some gameplay so you can see the build in action. Hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And with that, I'll see you next time.